What's up, people on SpeedGaming 1? We are live with Link to the Past Randomizer League tournament race here between Teto and Rayvis for the teams of Major Mistakes and Team Hime. This is the Courage Players match, so it's an open 7-7 defeat Ganon seed. My name is NelsonAlex92, joined by Koi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I don't know, I was having some technical difficulties. I refreshed, everything's better. I can see everything now. We're all good.
So, Koi, you kind of know what happened between these two.
Yes, I calmed the previous Teto versus Rayvis match because, no, I know, it sounds crazy, right? Like, how can they do it twice? You know, if we're doing it today, why did they do it before? Well, the answer is they tied. It's so unlikely to get a tie in Randomizer because of all the RNG that takes place throughout the game, like where things are, and then the decisions that the players make. But somehow, some way, Rayvis and Teto are just so evenly matched that they managed to tie in a Randomizer race. It was very, very close. Rayvis was he had a decent small amount of lead and just let it go at the end, though, and they ended up tying. So the rules for the league are, when a tie occurs in the playoffs, you just redo the entire match, and that's what we have here today.
So Teto and Rayvis teammates have already played, I guess 2 matches, since they already have at least 1 victory. So this will technically be team match 3 then.
Okay, hopefully this means that they're not going to tie, but both of our runners are going in different directions and doing different things at the start, rather than waiting until the end. Teto going for the 50-50 bombs here from these bushes. 2 bombs here, each one having a 50% chance of having a bomb. He leaves with just 1 bomb. Usually you want to get at least 2. But we'll see how this fares for him.
We had a really quick map check, so we got regular crystals at Eastern Palace and Tower of Hera, and crystal pendant at Desert Palace.
Yeah, so Rayvis finds a sword there in the Lost Woods, but Teto sees a Moon Pearl on the race game. So this is actually kind of bad for Teto because he only came over here with 1 bomb. So he spends his 1 bomb to get this Moon Pearl, and now he has no bombs for Kakariko. I'm curious to see what he'll do next, if he'll go back for those 50-50 bushes or take some other course of action. Rayvis getting a free bomb there. The bird happens to be in the bomb prize pack.
Very nice bomb drop.
Oh, there were rupees in Link's house. Okay, yeah, he'll just buy some bombs then, I guess.
We're having more rupees on the library shelf, so I don't think we'll be able. I don't think we will go for those when we get the boots. If we get the boots, of course.
I definitely not. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see that he got all those rupees from Link's house.
Ooh, a glove in Blind's hideout and the hammer. So we already have the Darkhold access.
Yeah, that's Darkhold access right there. So the routing's going to work out in Tito's favor here. With him coming through Kakariko from the south. Because when he reaches the top, he'll just have Darkhold access and it just goes straight there. It'll be awkward though, because in doing that, it would put Lost Woods on the back burner for a bit, so you might be missing out on that sword.
I think that would be pretty awkward, but at the same time, I think going into Darkhold is a little bit more tempting at this point, maybe.
Yeah, I think going straight to Darkhold for Teto is gonna be a pretty reasonable play. He may prefer to start in Hype Cave later, or get some more Sphere 1 out of the way. Now, Rayvis could do the same thing, but because he's routing Kakariko in the other direction, when he gets Darkhold access, he's going to be all the way down at the race game. So walking back up through Kakariko to enter the Darkhold doesn't seem as reasonable. So for him, it would make more sense to either go start at Hype Cave or go do South Shore instead.
And that's a decision you need to take. Like, if you want, Hype Cave could be a very good, but it's, I mean, when like it's Hype Cave, it's never good, right?
Chat really talking down Kakariko here. Man, all we got in Kakariko was Dark World access. Gosh, it's like nothing. I expect more from my Kakariko.
I mean, you could always get all your go mode items, right? So
Right? I'm like 3,000 seeds into this game, and that has not happened yet, so I'm not sure that's a realistic hope.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. So I mean, the dream will have to live on for a different day.
I did have Moon Pearl Go mode one time. It was pretty amazing.
And Rayvis just seeing that Moon Pearl and was like saving quitting and was like, I probably should pick that one up.
So notably here, Teto did not go straight to the Dark World. Will be going into Lost Woods to get this sword. But he also didn't go back down for Sick Kid. With the way he routed Kakariko, the bottle came at the end. He was walking away from Sick Kid. We'll probably work it in later. I don't think he's too worried about whatever Sick Kid has because he does already have that Dark World access.
Yeah, it's so easy to just route it in later on, depending on where Teto wants to go. And it looks like Teto might actually go just to Dark World right now.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I mean, unless he's going to check Pedestal, which, he can't. No other reason to be walking in this direction.
Oh, I thought Teto was going to try and do a blind ped pull here, but yeah.
Yeah, with 0 pendants. Okay, so Rayvis opting for a little bit more thoroughness before headed to the Dark World. Gonna check back of escape real quick. Ooh, he finds a bow. So, and with the small key in the Sanctuary chest and the map there in those 3 chests, there is definitely an item in Dark Cross as well. A little surprised he didn't go for that in the dark with the sword, but it's not the quickest check to do in the dark.
And that map check we just got was pretty interesting. We got a green pendant Turrock, a pendant Thieves Town, and a 5-6 crystal Mystery Mire, and what was the other place? Ice Palace?
Ice. Baby.
So vanilla red crystals.
Teto having a rough mummy room here.
Yeah.
Yep. Gibdos are mean. They're mean.
Ooh, a hookshot in Mini Molten Cave.
Yeah, staying in the light world is really paying off for Rayvis here. Keeps finding awesome things. Now, Tito's going to find these things eventually, but there's no guarantee of when that's going to happen.
Teto could do a lot of checks here already in the Dark World, so it wouldn't surprise me if he actually went for it.
Teto dying on purpose this time, just to get back to the beginning of the dungeon faster.
One Ice Rod cave coming up here, so let's see. It is one place you...
Yeah.
Oh, well... I mean, I was gonna say that's one place you don't want to, like, go to. I mean, this time around you actually want to go there.
Yeah, not a bad find for Rayvis. Both bows, very, very fast to see. I don't think they're in places that, like... It's not going to be long before Teto finds at least one of those 2 bows. But, you know, Teto may find one and then not have silvers for a while, like if he puts off Ice Rock Cave for a long time. So definitely could be a difference maker here for Rayvis.
It's definitely going to speed up a little bit of for Rayvis, depending on when
this
he wants to go
is
to.
an interesting decision from Rayvis here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sequence
Rayvis going
breaking.
to the mountain.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean it makes sense, I guess, since you get the
Yeah,
portal up here. But
it's definitely a lot of density to come up here. This is a sequence break, though. He will be skipping either the lamp or the flute, logically, to be on the mountain. So the main concern with going up to the mountain too early is things that you're not going to be able to do for missing items. Like he's not able to check Spike Cave. Not nearly enough equipment for that. He's not going to be able to check Ether Tablet, and if there is anything in Hera Basement, or if the Hera Basement is required for the big key, he will be leaving something behind in Tower of Hera, potentially.
it's a lot of item location that could come back and hurt Rayvis, but you never know what you pick up after you pick up here. So
if those few locations he can't do end up being nothing, like maybe he's saving time by being up here too soon.
There's your cape on top of, and there's your flute.
So flute on the mountain does guarantee that it is the lamp specifically that Rayvis is skipping in logic to be on the mountain.
And Teto picked up the King of Burna in the chess game.
Cane of Burna doesn't do a lot of things logically, but it is one of the ways to give logical access to Spike Cave.
It's a pretty good item for blind if you want to use it like that as well.
Unfortunately, he's hurting a little bit for magic. So unless he gets some lucky drops, I don't think it's going to help him too much today. See, another reason why the Uncle start is the best start. See, Rayvis has some magic.
Yeah, and Ray is trying to farm some bombs here since he only got one bomb so far.
I mean, there's a shop. Like this seems like a lot of effort for one bomb.
And a little bit risky because of all these rocks falling down. Yeah. It seems like Teto picked up mitts in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and that's good enough for him. Not going to continue on through Pendant Thieves Town. We got progression in the front four. Let's go.
So that's very nice for Teto when he goes to when we hit up in the Moral Cave, getting that hook shot. If we could sequence break as well.
Here's that shop I was talking about. Rayvis using his one bomb to open the shop and replace his one bomb with 10 bombs at the cost of 50 rupees.
I almost thought he would be like Rayvis was going to buy a heart there for a second.
I would have. I don't know why he didn't, honestly. It's just 10 rupees.
Picks up blue mail in the lower parts of Paradox Gate.
I don't know why he bought the bombs though. Like he didn't really need them. Like he has arrows to hit the switch here.
Probably once. Well, I mean, you can pick up bombs as well in Tower of Hera if you want to set up a Hera pod.
And it was moderately likely he's just gonna find bombs here in Paradox Cave. The book. It's the book.
Well, at least we can check what's on the tablet.
Yeah, oftentimes, like just reading what's on the tablet is, just as good, if not better, than actually grabbing the item on the tablet.
Yeah,
if it's nothing, you don't have to sit. If you don't have to sit through the the item grab animation and all that. And if it is something, you at least know exactly what it is and exactly when you should come back up for it.
Definitely good information for Rayvis here when he checks the tablet before going in. I assume he will go into Tower of Hera.
Do you think he'll He'll go into the crystal dungeon that he can full clear.
I mean, as long as we, get all the items before going, like, it could be an item in the basement.
Sure, sure. All right, Rayvis just finding a map there in the basement cage, while Teto headed over to the Hype Cave with his buddy Jeremiah following him around.
Right, so we get lucky enough so we can actually do the. Well, I mean, we can go up here with a Herapod.
Yeah, the Herapod here is not necessary for Rayvis. He is doing it just for the time save that it represents. Why Teto? Why? Why would you open them in that order? It doesn't make sense. I don't think it actually makes a difference time-wise, because like you have to walk all the way up and all the way down either way. But it's just so weird.
I mean, that's one way to do it, right?
Whatever gets your goat, I guess.
But nothing in Hype Cave, that we kind of assumed, and just rupees in Tower of Pharaoh, what we can get right now. Hopefully there's an item here on the boss, otherwise there's an item in the basement for Rayvis.
Yeah, no fire source. He definitely would not be able to do the basement chest.
Ooh.
Oh, the middle hole. Rayvis, no! Make no mistake, guys, Rayvis is actually really, really darn good at this game. Moldorm is just a jerk. And it doesn't matter how good you are. Just the slightest moment of hesitation, and he will knock you right down that middle hole.
One of the worst enemies in this game, because you never know the pattern he will give you, or like you said, if you hesitate, you will end up, well, probably in the middle hole, actually.
Oh, Teto running a little bit of trouble here with his hearts.
Ooh, and there is an item in the basement of Tower of Pharaoh.
Very unfortunate for Rayvis. Although, honestly, even if he had a fire source, he might choose not to do that. It is one of the most commonly skipped item locations because of how long it takes.
Well, Teto, yeah.
Hello. Yes, need. Teto taking the very thorough route to bring the Smith all the way to Pyramid and then to Catfish. Was all ready to save and quit. It was going to be nothing, but whoa, we got some flippers.
With those flippers, we unlock a lot of checks here for Teto.
Okay, I really need Teto to go to Back of Escape soon, though. Back of Escape is one of those locations where it's never getting any better,
If I were Teto, I would probably just turn into Smith here and maybe save and quit to get your, like you're saying, the Back of Escape. Depending on what item Teto picks up.
Teto also checking Sick Kid while he's here. So what was our haul from the mountain here for Rayvis? Just the book, right? And the flute.
Book, flute, and I guess blue mail.
Sure. Smith's just a face of heart there for Teto. He does save and quit. If there's any time to do Back of Escape, it is like now. he does save and quit to Sanctuary.
I kind of expect Teto to just do the check here right now, real fast. Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
Alright, so
makes sense doing it now.
Tito's gonna grab his bow. We'll see if he goes to Dark Cross as well. Yep, he is headed to Dark Cross. So like I said before, a small key in Sanctuary chest and the map there means that Dark Cross has to be an item. So if you can do the Dark Room, we might as well do it now.
Perfect time to also do the Dark Cross, actually. And there's a shovel at the Sunken Treasure.
It's kind of an awkward item to get this late. Like, usually you just do it, like, right after Kakariko, or you pair it with, say, like, the Smith checks or something. But the items just aren't lining up for that to happen.
It's a little bit unfortunate that we're getting the items a little bit awkward here, but hopefully Rayvis can, in this case, or Teto pick up a mirror later on as well, be able to just do the quick checks.
It looked like it was Rupees and Dark Cross there. Teto will save and quit and head somewhere else. Now, Rayvis here, I think he's probably going into Pod.
This feels like a fair, this feels like Pod because you got everything cleared out except you don't have a fire source. It's not technically in logic.
So, assuming that he does go to Pod and not onto Catfish, this actually spells trouble for Rayvis. It's going to be very difficult for him to route in Catfish. And if he finds anything in Pod, like anything he finds in Pod, is going to make that play to Catfish look even worse. But he is going up to Pyramid at least. It is very common to go Pyramid before going into Pod, but he may be headed to Catfish.
If you take the time right now to just do Pyramid Ledge, I would probably just do Catfish as well at this point.
Alright, so he's the 20 rupees on the ledge. Now we're going north to Catfish for the thorough play, or are we going to go east?
Okay, this is Catfish. Yeah.
That's good. That's good then. That's really good for Rayvis, because Catfish is progression today. I'm a little surprised by this decision, honestly, because I thought for sure he'd be going to Pod with that bow.
Probably feel like
it's the Turtle Dark Room, I think, maybe gives him a little bit of pause.
Yeah, I think just waiting with Turum might be actually a pretty smart idea right now.
Now he could do it. He could definitely do the Turtle Dark Room with these hearts and this equipment and everything. But it is a pretty rough Dark Room without, say, like the Fire Rod or a Medallion or something, or even just a better sword would make that a lot better. So yeah, I guess it does make sense to put off Pod for a little bit.
Getting some new checks here from Teto, going to give us all the Sora checks. It looks like, at least.
Yeah, I think Rayvis will probably do the same thing here. Flipper checks are pretty safe to do this early. Like, it's, moderately dense, and you get the flippers so early, like, you have to do all of them. There's, like, very little chance you'd ever get to skip all of them.
Yeah, and it's just a perfect time to do it. Do the Sora checks right after you get the flippers that eat, like, super early on, because, I mean, for Rayvis it makes more sense, because he will not have the money being able to go into Pod, so he will get his mids kind of early because he doesn't have any options really. or you get more
Yeah,
rupees
no,
per pyramid fairy.
he'll have exactly enough rupees for pod. Because he gets 70 rupees there. So it'll be at a 614. Alright, Teto headed over to our favorite big fish. Sorry, catfish, but Zora is love.
Well, I don't think you would say that today, at least.
It was worth. Are you kidding me? 3 bombs for only 500 rupees? It's not bad. It's not bad.
mean, yeah, it could have been something better, right?
Yeah, flipper checks not paying off today. The runners will have to go somewhere else for progression. It looks like Tito's headed over to the bow dungeon area.
I kind of like what Tito's doing, not going out of like sequence breaking here, just following the progression that Tito got from doing all the checks early on.
Yeah, I feel like even if he did choose to like go up the mountain, I think that's a pretty reasonable play to go up the mountain. It is a lot of checks, but there is plenty of reason to not do that.
Well, there's a mushroom and a master sword.
Yeah, Master Sword definitely a lot of help here. Earlier you get those weapon upgrades, the easier the seed becomes. Mushroom is probably not what Tito wanted to find, but he'll find a time to turn it in the future, I'm sure of it.
I mean, Rayvis just got a shovel from the... well, got a shield from the shovel spot, so I mean...
Doesn't even pick it up, man. That's really disappointing. Rayvis was going to have a matching set of equipment if he picked up the shield. Because he already has the blue mail. This will be the blue sword, and that was the blue shield. But it's gone now. It's lost forever. It's the little things, right? It's the little things in this game.
So I think Rayvis will feel a little bit better. I mean, I guess Tito as well, going into that turret room with a master sword.
Yeah, definitely a lot easier with the master sword rather than the fighter sword. Rayvis with his flute actually going to turn in this mushroom immediately, wasting no time to follow this fetch quest. When he flies back to the eastern area, he can just take the glove path to get to the dungeon.
And it's just 20 rupees for that mushroom, so yeah, not really paying off.
Oh, Rayvis! Go into pod instead of eastern first.
If Rayvis is super lucky here, he picks up a mirror and makes it a lot easier to route in Eastern Palace right after being done with Pod.
Yeah, that would be super convenient, but I still think the main concern here is the Turtle Dark Room. Like, it's a very, very punishing room if he makes even like a little bit of a mistake. Suddenly he's on really low hearts for Helmasaur, or just dies in that room right away.
Yeah, I do think Rayvis has 2 bottles with potions in it.
Okay.
Not sure.
Alright, he should probably be fine then. I'm just projecting, because that room's really tough for me with this equipment set.
Yeah, I don't like the turret room at all in the dark. I still don't like it.
Rayvis is pretty good. He won't have any trouble, I'm sure. right, Tito's adventure to the vanilla Biki chest did turn out to be an item, just 300 rupees. So Eastern Palace unfortunately is empty today.
Empty, but we get our Tito will get their first crystal here, so that's pretty nice, and probably will go into pod, I guess, after this.
Oh, having a little trouble in this back dark room of Eastern. There you go. He shoots the bow upwards like that until he finds where the Igor is. The arrows will stick in the Igor, and that helps him pinpoint its location for when it is killed. It drops a key.
I actually learned that room by going to, like, I counted the steps you need to take to right, and I was like writing it down on a paper.
Rayvis putting those silvers to use. We're definitely going to see a little bit of a time save here for Rayvis, just having silvers versus the regular bow. It's not a huge chunk of time, because like even the regular bow kill for Armos is pretty quick.
It's just pretty nice just have the silver arrows. So you can definitely save a lot of arrows compared to the regular bow.
The main value for the silvers shows up much later in the seed when we fight like Vitreous or Ganon. But they have little uses here and there, saving a little bit of time.
And since we both know what happened in the, since we all know what happened in the first round between Rayvis and Teto, all the time saving the world is probably going to help them, right?
Absolutely. Alright, so Teto finishing up Eastern Palace, getting his first crystal, now headed south into the Dark World, where he will do Palace of Darkness that Rayvis is in. Meanwhile, Rayvis, doing Palace of Darkness, will finish this up and then go to Eastern. So it looks like they're divergent, but they're really not. The main thing right now is Teto has gone to Pendant Thieves Town and found Mitts in the first 4, while Rayvis has gone to the Mountain out of Logic and found a book. Otherwise, they've done all the same things.
Yeah, so if you don't want to do the front part of, like the rest of Thieves Town, I guess going to, well, I mean, for Rayvis, I don't really know where Rayvis will go after Eastern Palace at this point, if there's nothing in pod.
I think for Teto, Tito's play when he leaves pod, assuming that he gets nothing here, it should be probably going to the mountain. Like, it'll still be out of logic, but the density cannot be ignored, especially since he has mitts.
Yeah, the mountain play will make more sense for Teto at this point.
And then for Rayvis, like, he still hasn't been anywhere on West Dark World. So when he finishes pod, assuming that there was nothing here, it should be pretty clear that he needs to go to like Thieves Town in front of Skullwoods or something in that nature. There are like other things that neither of them have done, but we're not hard pressed for those locations yet. Like going to do Purple Chest or something without the mirror. No one's that desperate.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, but I'd rather have a mirror at this point, so you can just route it in later.
So it looks very unusual what Rayvis is doing right now, but there is a method to his madness. He was trying to die as best he could.
I gotta say, I love the death animation on the Sonic sprite in this one.
Oh, what did it do? I missed it.
Just the way he just like lays down on the floor or in the air, if whatever you want to call it. It just looks really great. So if we're thinking about the way to go up to the mountain in logic, the lamp, there's a few places left, but I kind of assume it's going to be in like the front of the castle at this point.
Yeah, front of the castle, the back of Thieves Town, purple chest is in logic. So there are options.
Yeah, it's not a lot of options, but like at this point, the Teto will most likely just go to the mountain at this point.
Alright, Rayvis headed towards those dark rooms we were talking about. These are tougher dark rooms with his equipment set.
One of the worst rooms in the game, I would say, if you don't have a lamp. That's just my opinion about this room.
So in this room, there are 6 turtles with different patterns of RNG. He's going to try and kill them all with a hammer and a sword. Gets a nice spin on 3 of them. There's another 2. Or 3, I mean. Unfortunately, we're using Teto's sound at the moment, so all we see on Rayvis' screen is the occasional sword spin and hammer flash. We haven't seen any turtles die. I'm very worried for him. Oh, there's one. Awesome. Oh, there you go. So you see he uses the spin to pinpoint the turtles. It'll tink off of them, and then he can slash in that direction until he finds it. He looks like he did kill all of them, and is just looking for the exit. There we go. Nice job, Rayvis, getting through there. He still has 4 hearts remaining. Probably lose one of them here to these guys. Hard not to. But we get to the boss with plenty of hearts to do this fight. Unless you walk directly into Helmasaur right away.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh my gosh, Rayvis, don't do that. Oh my god. Drink your potion. Drink your potion.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Whew. Rayvis just tries to throw, man, and when he turns out to be too good.
Rayvis, you got silver arrows. Just use it.
Right? 8 slashes, that'll do it anyway. He doesn't need the silvers. Silvers are crutch. They're a crutch, Alex.
Yeah, I know. But hey, at least we got something good from Pod. We got half magic.
Yeah, but other than that, though, Pod was pretty darn empty.
So Eastern is empty, Pod is empty.
I think Rayvis will definitely be headed back to Eastern first. Crystal Dungeon and Folk Clear, it's hard to ignore that. Yep, that does seem to be the play. He is headed towards Eastern Palace. Meanwhile, Teto headed into that same dark room that Rayvis just finished. The first 2 are pretty easy. Just hit the peg, hit the switch, and then hammer this one turtle. Then he moves on into the turtle dark room itself. He's going to use Quake. Now, Quake will stun any turtle that's already flipped over, but it doesn't do anything to ones that are walking around.
Oh, you gotta be careful here, Teto.
Having to drink one of his potions. Or his only potion, it looks like.
I'm going for beast rats.
Beast's a fantastic choice in this room. While it is super annoying how it like moves the turtles around, it does show you where they are. They flash up every time they take damage. Looks like Teto made it through with the majority of his hearts. Now, assuming that he doesn't walk directly into the Helmasaur, I don't know why anyone would do it, but if he doesn't, he should be fine for the Helmasaur fight. Just 17 hits with the hammer will break down this mask. Taking a big hit there. And Teto is on green mail, not blue mail. Every time he walks into Helmasaur, it is 2 hearts, not 1. There goes the mask. And no silvers for him. Still have to go bow and Master Sword strats.
Enough arrows to take down Helmasaur as well, so that's the second crystal for Teto here.
Yeah, it was not the cleanest fight I've ever seen, but at the end of the day, it's a W, right? Like, dying is basically the best you can hope for. Or not dying is the best you can hope for.
Yeah, I was going to say, Koya, I don't think you want to die here on Helmasaur after making it through the turtle route. So this is going to be interesting to see where Teto goes, since it's a saving quit here to Sanctuary. I guess it's going to be the mountain play.
Yeah, it really is the only play that makes sense. I mean, you can make the case for like not wanting to sequence break, but the amount of density that the mountain is providing right now is just, it's too much versus the inefficiency of the checks that Teto has remaining in logic. And with the hook shot, he doesn't even have to really worry about a possible Firelock in Hera, because Hera Pot exists, right? So if he goes to the mountain, he at the very least will be walking away with a crystal.
You will get 1 item and 1 crystal from Hera, so it's not that bad. Hopefully there's nothing in the basement of Hera, because that would be pretty awkward for both of the runners.
This is even more appealing for Teto now, because he does have those mitts from Thieves Town. So in addition to all these light Death Mount checks that Rayvis already did, he can do Hookshot Cave and Super Money as well as the medallion required for Turtle Rock. And hope that it's not Quake. Alright, so Silver's Arma's coming up for Rayvis. This is a pretty difficult fight, but Rayvis makes it look easy until he misses that last shot. Never mind.
So Rayvis takes down Harvest Knights and gets their 3rd crystal.
Come on, Rayvis. I'm gonna stop saying nice things about you, I swear. Rayvis taking the crystal lead. 3-2.
Okay, so this is going to be Rayvis play into the Village of Outcast areas, where he will get his mitts and Quake. I guess that was it, right?
Yes, I believe so. Just mitts and Quake. Although I don't remember exactly where Quake was. Mitts were in first 4. Oh, he's gonna check Pet first, though. Get ready to have all your hopes and dreams crushed, because it's just a piece of love on the pedestal. Womp womp.
In a seed like this, it's pretty easy to see. I mean, it could have been like a mirror or a medallion for Meyer, but it couldn't be real that much otherwise.
Now, I wonder if Rayvis is gonna full clear Thieves. So like when Teto was in Thieves Town, he had the rest of the entire game left. You know, like he went to Thieves Town super quick. So, you know, he goes to Thieves Town, he hasn't been to South Shore, he hasn't been to the mountain, he hasn't been to Eastern and Pod, he hasn't been anywhere. So going to the back of Thieves Town when he just found the myths in the first 4, it seems silly. But Rayvis' situation is going to be much different. He's been to the mountain, he's been to Pod and Eastern, he's been to South Shore, and the myths don't open very much logically for him at all. So I think he'd be a lot more pressed to do Back of Thieves here.
Yeah, I feel like Back of Thieves is going to have some sort of progression for us at this point. To put, I mean, the lamp could be there to just put everything in logic, but it wouldn't be something major.
Now, one thing that the MITs will do for Rayvis is open up the access to the Meyer Shed, where Teto just was, where he found the fire rod.
Well, that's good. That's a fire source we actually need in this one.
Yeah, and that actually is out of logic. It is, the fire rod is out of logic. The flute is locked behind the lamp. But the thing about that is, everything the lamp can do, the fire rod does better. So who cares where the lamp is, right?
Yeah, and also for Teto, this is better because Teto will actually be able to check the item in Hera basement if Teto wants to do it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he might do it just because of how empty the mountain is going to be. Like, it's just the book up here that he's going to find. Nifty little hook shot there through the spike for Rayvis. And he's going to take a Death Warp off the Gibdos. And that's the end of Skullwoods there for Rayvis. Without the fire rod, he cannot continue. We'll have to go somewhere else.
And this somewhere else will be the Thieves Town play. Get their mitts in Quake. And like you said, in Quake, I actually think Rayvis will just clear out Pendant Thieves Town at this point.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't have to. You know, like the mitts do open locations for him. It's just none of the good ones that it opens are in logic. And without having the fire rod, it feels a little less good to purposefully skip the lamp. Alright, Rayvis headed into Thieves Town now. We'll see what he chooses to do.
So there will be 2 items in the back. And I mean, it's 2 items, and you never know what kind of items there is.
Meanwhile, Teto also doing the hair pot in Tower Fair here to save a little bit of time. He does have the big key. This is not necessary for him to get up top.
There's
and he actually abandons it and moves on. Oh, that's where Quake was.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a full clear of Thieves Town for Rayvis.
Yeah, I certainly don't think it would have been wrong for him to leave, but his situation is so vastly different than what Tito's is. Tito's was when he was here. Like, full clearing Thieves at this point just feels like the safer play.
There's 2 items, and I mean, if you're lucky, you will get the mirror, or you maybe get a pair of boots in here.
I'm sure he wouldn't be upset to even see something like Bombos.
Bombas would open up a few checks.
Yeah,
Our good old Ice Palace.
Not that he wants to do, you know, caneless Bombos Ice Palace, but at least it would be a crystal.
There's a 3rd item of Thieves Town, just a piece of hearts. There's only 1 left. So, Koi, do you think Teto will check the basement here in Hera?
Yes. I would. I mean, maybe he won't.
Oh, and there's a Molder Fall. It's not in the middle hole, but it's still annoying.
I don't know. I think he could really go either way. Like, if you're gonna skip an item location in this game, like Hera Basement's one of the best ones to skip. It just takes so long. It's like a good 90 seconds just for 1 check. But given Tito's situation where like the things that are in logic for him are all so terrible.
Rayvis picking up the powder in Blind Cell.
Yeah, it's a nice little find. You know, essentially just a fetch quest for him, but that is the 4th item, so he won't have to kill the boss. He already checked pedestal, so he knows that won't be required.
And since Rayvis already used the mushroom to turn it in, he can't fake powder, so just getting regular powder is really good for Rayvis.
Looks like Teto is not interested in doing Hera Basement, gonna leave it behind and go straight to the Dark World. So my concern with Hera Basement in this situation is I don't have the mirror, right? Like, if I had the mirror, I'd feel pretty comfortable just leaving Hera Base behind. And if I find something good in Hookshot Cave, then I just won't do it. And if I don't find anything, then, you know, I can just do it on my way out of the mountain. Make sure that there's nothing up here. But without the mirror, as soon as he goes to the Dark World, Hera Basement's gone forever.
That's if there's something that we need in that basement. I mean, for Teto, he will be in the same position as Rayvis at that point because they both can't do it. Well, Teto could, but yeah, it's just gonna be one of those last location parts.
Yeah, it could be that our runners are just familiar with each other and they know that that's a play that the other one likes to make, is to skip Hera Basement. So if I know my opponent likes to skip it, then I feel a lot more comfortable doing so. So Teto actually enters the Dark World at the bottom of Death Mountain instead of up at Turtle Rock. So he will not be able to open Turtle Rock. It's not a huge concern because he doesn't have the cane anyway. But that doesn't mean he can't find the cane and wish he had opened Turtle Rock.
Oh, quite please. Let Teto have a break here.
I feel like every time I've made this decision, we're like, there's probably nothing in Turtle Rock, or I probably can't open it anyway. It ends up being like something really important in there.
It's Pendant Turtle Rock. It feels like there's always something in Pendant Turtle Rock.
All right, it was Bombos to open it anyway, so even if he had gone up here, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. All right, Rayvis putting his flute to use, going to be able to turn in the Smith quite a bit faster than Teto did before him. Ooh, and he'll be able to actually follow up on that powder that he got in the back of Thieves Town. If this powder leads to progression, Rayvis has got to be feeling pretty good. because the Back of Thieves, when you got the mitts in the first 4, something a lot of players will try to put off.
Yeah, it's going to feel pretty bad for Teto, I guess. We can't really fake power right now, and he's just turning into mushroom, so... Alright, Magic Bat in Blind Cell in Thieves Town. Do you have anything important?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have anything important, Alex. It's just 20 rupees.
So, we have a
Feels
few
bad.
checks left. I mean, that's still in per se logic. But, not that many options anymore, right?
No, Rayvis still has options. So he'll do like the Mire area with his new mitts, and then he'll probably go Dark Death Mountain. Teto going to Skullwoods right now, which Rayvis will probably do after those checks. So we got things to do for the moment, and that was Quake to open Mire, I think.
That was indeed Quake. So the question is, do you want to go into Mire without Kanos Mori?
You know, I really don't mind doing it. Like as far as double dipping a dungeon go, Mire is one of the better ones. Because it's really just those first few rooms that you have to go through twice.
Yeah, I'm just getting weird flashbacks from this week, so I'm just not going to say anything about Mire.
Oh, right! That's my combat race, actually.
Yes, you did, Koi. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, poor Nelson's race had an unfortunate item location in Misery Mire.
So we do have both runners here in the Skullwoods, and I would assume with the Fire Rod they will go to good old Ice Palace after this one.
Yeah, Ice Palace is a reasonable play. This, you know, Crystal Dungeon Neck full clear. Everything else is really terrible, I think, is more the reason why we go to Ice. Because ice is also terrible. It's just not as terrible as doing Purple Chest or something. Or walking into Pendant Desert the slow way without boots.
I just find it being boots locked. That would be even better.
Nice fight there from Teto. Takes down Mothula, no trouble. Oh yeah, we still haven't seen front of the castle.
You're almost an hour in, and we haven't seen the front of the castle. Pretty interesting.
And it's 3 items. It's full value front of Hyrule Castle. Of course, locations like front of Hyrule Castle, most likely all we're going to find there is just the lamp, which neither runner really cares that much about. So sequence breaking that lamp makes a bit more sense when you still have nice locations for it.
Beautiful fight for Rayvis as well with Mothula, so they're even in the crystal count, Rayvis and Teto.
Alright, looks like Tito's making the play on Desert. Nope, just checking the ledge. Making the play on Ice Palace instead.
Yeah, I think just going into Ice Palace, it's crystal, you can just full clear it. Makes more sense than just going into Desert Palace.
Yeah, I mean, as awesome and as efficient as Icebreaker is, you can't just put off Ice Palace forever every seed until you find King, right? Because sometimes the King's just logically behind Ice Palace or in Ice Palace itself. So when Ice Palace is your best play, you got to do it, even if it's without Icebreaker.
I tend to say that Samaria is always in Ice Palace if you like if you're always in need of a Samaria, it's always in Ice Palace. So hopefully we'll find it here.
Well, first chest did have a unique item. Unfortunately, just the Ether Medallion.
The one medallion we don't need to see.
Literally nothing. Rayvis has said headed to Dark Death Mountain. Teto did cheese checks already. They were pretty darn empty.
Well, Rayvis can do one thing that Teto didn't do here, and it's going to be able to check Spike Cave. Teto could have done it, but decided to not do it.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely. To answer chat, neither runner has done front of escape, but Teto did do Dark Cross from the back. Or was it Rayvis? One of them did Dark Cross.
I don't think it was Teto that did it.
It was one of them. I don't remember which. It was nothing in Dark Cross.
Seeing Bombos there on top on Turtle Rock, I think Rayvis feels pretty good seeing that at this point.
Yeah, nobody wants to do Pen and TR. Although the thing with TR is that if you can do TR, you absolutely should do TR, right?
Yeah, there's usually something in there that you will have to dip into when it's...
Yeah, TR just requires so many items just to walk in the front door that if the game went out of its way to give you those items, like it probably means there's something in TR. So saying that it's Bombos means Rayvis is not at all worried about Turtle Rock for the time being.
Let's see, I saw a second item, a heart container in Ice Palace, so there's one item left, but doesn't really look like we're getting something right now, right here in Ice Palace.
And Rayvis also running out of nicer things to do, also headed into Ice Palace to follow Teto.
These two runners are very neck and neck with each other. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, for the time being, it looks like Teto has the edge, but you know, those few checks that Rayvis did that Teto hasn't, Teto may just go do those right after Ice Palace and even it up. So definitely still very close. Ice Palace really hanging out today. Everyone finding all the things.
Imagine if you only had it smart right now, so you done the icebreaker to get your vanilla big key. Hey, Bugnet! All the 3 items found in Ice Palace.
Fantastic. So where is our progression? Nilsson, tell me.
Well, I would... Desert Palace? Pendant? Bootsless? Desert Palace?
You know, I think it's front of escape. So I think the lamp is in front of escape, but so is something else.
I mean, if that's the case, that would just be amazing.
Because that would just be like true just desserts, right? They're trying so hard to not find this lamp, to not spend the time it takes to go to this location that the lamp is, and it's actually lamp and mirror or lamp and boots or something.
Honestly, only because you mentioned it about the boots, I really hope it's boots in there, and they could have boots super early.
I think it's definitely more likely that they're going to go to desert though, and just keep trying to skip this lamp. Okay, so key on Colts there does mean that was Samaria locked. So we won't be looking for Samaria in Pyramid Fairy. But I don't think that that was much of a possibility anyway, because the other red crystal is Meyer, so I'm going to shut up now. I didn't think it all the way through before I started talking.
Hey, I mean, I normally just talk and then I regret whatever I said. So, welcome to the club, Goy.
All right, Teto, where are you going? My screen locked up. I don't know where he's going.
It looks like we're going to Meyer.
Meyer, that's a reasonable play. Follow the Quake Medallion. Okay, so like the main thought process behind a play like this is the time that Teto spends in Meyer, a good chunk of it is free, right? Because you have to go to Meyer in the seed at some point, and you have to go in there deep enough to find, at the very least, the big key. So all this time that he spends in Meyer, right up until he finds the big key, he was going to have to do anyway.
Exactly, and
so if you find something on the way to the big key, it was like a free find.
This is just one of those plays that I think will separate these two. Teto going to Meyer, and if Rayvis decides to do something else at this point, maybe going to Desert Palace, that could be what separates them for a little bit.
That's a small key in our first chest here for Teto.
But Koi, we do have that hero basement still.
Yeah. Of course, naturally, Teto is in here without the Cane of Samaria when he is still looking for progression items. So where else would the big key be but in a Godmire spot?
It's always like that. You're not in go mode. You're in Mr. Meyer. Of course, it's a Godmire.
These are the set in stone rules, the laws of rando. Early Ice Rod means Pendant TR. There's always a Sword and Swamp. It's only go mode Meyer when you're not in go mode.
Couldn't sit better myself, Goy.
Alright, Icefall is done. Rayvis has to make a hard decision now. Does he follow Teto into Meyer, or will we see some divergence?
Rayvis going up.
We're going to Spike Cave? This looks like Spike Cave.
Yeah, this is Spike Cave. We don't have a mirror, so...
Why didn't you do this before?
I mean, Rayvis just like the view up here, I guess.
Teto having to take a quick break here for the cutscene chest while Rayvis going through Spike Cave.
So is this the correct play to do, going to Spike Cave? Is there any progression in this cave?
No. Of course.
Of course not.
Why would it be there? That's just silly. Unfortunately, Teto finds. I assume that's a second item there in Misery Meyer.
Yep, so it was not Meyer today. So go to the castle.
Are they both going castle? Okay, Rayvis is going castle. It looks like Tito's going shovel.
So this makes super much sense for Rayvis, because Rayvis never checked Dark Cross either.
We haven't even seen the uncle?
Oh
God.
Wait, didn't Teto do it?
Teto might have done it. I don't know. Wait, what the
Oh
heck?
my god! If this
This
is
has been 5 items the entire seed. You left behind 5 items.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Neither of them has done the uncle.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Is this real
How do you
life?
leave behind five sphere 1 and 2 locations for this long?
I mean,
Oh my god! And they both did it, so it's not like one player derping. This is a entire race problem apparently.
I mean, I gotta love that they both are going there at the same time, pretty much at the same. Like, oh my god!
Yeah, as Gamer2 points out in the chat, Uncle routing would have been a huge boon to this seed. But I don't even think that's necessary. Like, just wanting to do 5 very early in the logic checks would have been good enough. Just, you know, like I'd rather do 5 sphere 1 locations rather than go to Ice Palace. Like that would have been enough.
I mean, if you're Rayvis and Teto right now, you gotta feel super bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd feel pretty behind if I put off the uncle for that long. And it was a mirror like that. Like the mirror is like the worst thing to put off like this. Because now we have access to Swamp, which is great. Crystal Dungeon, we can full clear, lots of checks here. But we also have Cave 45 and Great Red Ledge and Checkerboard Cave. It's just everything's all split up and off in weird directions.
Koi, do you want to know a real fun thing here?
What's that?
Our lamp could be in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Cave 45 or Graveyard.
Yeah,
or
because we could have had access.
Well,
we could have entered Swamp Palace like, I don't know, 40 minutes ago.
I think it's just so funny that they both put off the uncle for that long. I didn't even realize that they put off the uncle. I knew they hadn't done Front of Escape.
Oh right, Teto started in Link's house and farmed the bombs from the south of the grove. That's why he never went to the uncle.
Alright, and I think it's also important we point out, everybody, that both of our runners still skipped Front of Escape.
I mean,
I don't blame him. Like, the mirror was a pretty big find there, but like the Front of Escape is still live, and it's still 3 items.
so we're Samaria away. I guess we shouldn't rule out the boots because we do have that weird scenario of maybe big key of Ganon's Tower on the torch.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but one you typically just write off as not being real.
Yeah.
Like a 1 in 22 chance, you just... The odds are in your favor that the boots aren't required, right? And again, no diver down from Rayvis. Both runners headed to the back of Swamp first. This pretty standard, makes a lot of sense. They're just 1 item from go mode. And no diver down from Teto either. Have you learned the bomb strats for it, Nelson?
I was watching your tutorial, and I can say that I'm more like, you know, with the cane instead of the bombs. Actually,
yeah, so. yeah. Like the cane shot. I always do the cane shot if I have the cane.
I feel like the boot and the bombs one is a little bit trickier because of the you know, where you had to line up and stuff.
Yeah, it disappoints me to see Rayvis and Teto not doing it though. Rayvis showing off some real slick double pulls here with the Master Sword. When Argus lets him. Silvers will make quick work of the giant squiddy eyeball. Gosh darn it. Rayvis, stop it!
Rayvis, you need to be a little bit careful here because I don't like.
Okay,
Oh,
there we go. Silvers make quick work of the giant squiddy eyeball. And Rayvis gets a map for his travel. So no progression here from the back of Swamp Palace. But will he go back in? He did get the big key in the back.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go back in.
I mean, like, he has lots of other places he can go. Like, it wouldn't be crazy to skip it. But it looks like he will not be skipping it.
So we have a weird scenario as well. I mean, we're pretty even between these two, but Rayvis has one thing that Teto doesn't have, and that's the silver arrows at this point.
Yeah, assuming that the cane isn't showing up real soon, I can't imagine it's going to take Teto long to find those. Like with the flute, it's just a quick...
Oh my god, there's go mode.
Maybe go mode!
So, Rayvis is in go mode, and Teto will be shortly in go mode as well. So this is just a race about finish out Meyer first.
Yeah, so this is the other side of what I was saying. In the situation where they do find Samaria quickly, Teto will definitely not be finding the silvers. So Rayvis entering his go mode first and having the silvers on top of that definitely has a big advantage here over Teto.
Yeah, it's like for Teto already cleared out Meyer, and but it's go mode. Oh, Teto, where are you going?
Teto, are you serious?
Teto,
open the big chest before doing this. What are you doing?
Teto,
please. Teto, please tell me you're just routing it weird and that you totally intend to do a big chest. Oh my god. Teto, please.
Well, this is a little bit awkward.
Yeah, tad. He still might do the big chest before going left side. Like he has to walk around. Just go right.
Oh,
okay,
there we go.
There we go. Okay. Whew.
There we go.
I'm sure Teto feels a little silly. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. So, Godmire for Rayvis. This is his first trip in the dungeon, so this is a very nice thing for him. Definitely going to save some time over Teto here, who did the cutscene chest.
So Rayvis is definitely in a smaller lead. I mean, the advantage of having silver arrows is going to be pretty good, actually, going up GT and speed up the Ganon fight.
Yeah, and the Victorious fight coming up. Well, I don't think Tito's going to have any problem killing it. With Tito's equipment, it's going to be a much faster fight for Rayvis, in addition to being much safer. Rayvis just having to do this dark room. Makes it through no problem.
That's a nice part with not having to hit the switch here. You can just walk through this room without even thinking about it.
All right, Rayvis makes it all the way through the dark rooms, headed on to Vitreous for his 7th crystal. Silvers are pretty good on this fight.
I mean, just pretty good, right? Just, you know, it's not that huge of a deal, right?
And it's already over!
So, Rayvis takes down their 7th crystal, so, Koi, do you want to play a game?
I would love to play a game. What kind of game were you thinking, Alex?
I mean, we're playing Link to the Past, so I think there's a GT big key guessing game. So there's 1 to 22 locations to find that big key.
Oh, I'm so sick of that game. Can't we play a different game? We always play that game.
I mean, I guess, you know, we can play the Ganon teleports game.
Okay, alright, fine. Alright, fine, we'll play the silly Ganon's Tower big key guessing game. You heard him, folks. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which contains the big key that Rayvis needs to finish this seed. If you'd like to guess 1 through 22 on which chest that will be. So it is very likely Teto will also be in Ganon's Tower before Rayvis finds it. In that case, it doesn't matter who finds it first. We will listen to Rayvis's count, not Tito's.
So, Koi, do you have a favorite spot to find your big key?
The first chest that I pick.
That's a very solid answer.
That's where I prefer to find it. I don't know where you prefer to find it, Alex.
I mean, it just depends if I feel behind or not. But I would guess, like, you know, in the beginning parts.
You know, I usually feel pretty good about like an Ice Armos big key. Because like most routes do Ice Armos pretty late, so like if it's there, like you don't feel like you lost much time, no matter what route you chose.
Yeah, that's true actually. So yeah, Ice Armors would be pretty nice.
Alright, so this is interesting. Teto actually going up the mountain the slow way, and this is not because he doesn't know it's the slow way. This is to get the cape. Being on Master Sword Silverless without the lamp, the cape represents a really, really nice safety for some upcoming execution. So Teto sacrifices a little bit of time in order to get this safety.
There's a small key on torch there, so it wasn't a big key, but it was a key.
Yeah, that does confirm that we are in go mode. So no shenanigans today.
Stalfo's room having small keys and other weird stuff, so I guess that's 5 checks already.
We're just walking past Tower Room, headed over to the Compass Room, following this torch puzzle. And that's it. Rayvis finds the big key in a chest that is assigned a number 8, apparently. Thanks for that. And congratulations to Trace Spire for guessing correctly. You have won the Ganon Tower Big Key guessing game.
That's internet points pretty cool, right?
Very important. Teto, unfortunately, already behind, and now gonna fall even further behind. He's chosen a different route than Rayvis for the big key, and unfortunately, it's the worst one for this particular big key location.
It's pretty sad for Teto, but I mean, Teto could probably find a sword here to just speed up their Ganon fight, I guess. Alright, gauntlet time for Rayvis. All you need to do here is kill every enemy along the way to get up that GT tower.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to call it in this race just yet. Rayvis definitely has a huge advantage. It is his race to lose or to win. But, he is on Master Sword. He does not have the lamp. So there are situations where he runs out of health or magic and loses a bunch of time because of it.
Oh yeah, anything can still happen in this because we all seen what Randa can do to our amazing runners.
It is a pretty tall order for someone of Rayvis' caliber to ask him to make such a huge mistake, but even the best runners do have flubs in execution sometimes.
It's a pretty clean climb here for Rayvis.
Yeah, going super well.
It's never fun to do the GT climb without boots, but he's doing really good without the boots.
Unfortunately, Tito's chances slipping further and further away. Rayvis will be opening these chests just in case of a sword.
Rayvis getting bullied here by the anti-fairy.
Like picking up a heart, losing a heart, picking up a heart, losing a heart. And Teto unfortunately gets the bad news that the big key is on the right side of the tower. And didn't even get a sword for his trouble.
So they only... Oh, is Teto doing tile room?
Yeah. I can't blame him. Keep in mind, neither of them knows that the other one also put off the mirror for so long. So, you gotta be feeling pretty behind. You leave behind a major progression item in a sphere 1 location for over an hour, and then take the worst route through Ganon's Tower for the big key.
Teto having to use that one of their blue potions here in Tower Room, down to 1 heart, so... To get a heart container. And a very clean Aga fight for Rayvis.
Yeah, with that Aga fight, the writing is on the wall. Rayvis is almost definitely going to win. But Ganon, he's mean. We'll see.
You can never rule out what Ganon will do to you, so better play it safe here.
Right, Rayvis still has to do Master Sword strats for this fight. But he does have silvers for the 4th phase. Teto gets his big key and doesn't even open the other 3 chests.
So what Rayvis will do here is he's going to spin to win here the first few phases.
Yeah, 12 spins for phase 1, 12 spins for phase 2. Rayvis down to 3 hearts. He does have that potion.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried there. I was a little bit worried that he didn't have any potions.
Burna always works in a pinch too. Like if you get in a lot of trouble on Ganon, you can just turn on Burna and just get the heck out of dodge. He does miss the torch glitch, but with silvers it doesn't really make a difference. One more arrow should do it.
And there it goes. Ganon is exploding on our screen, and Rayvis takes home the, I guess, 3rd game between these 2 teams' major mistakes and team he made winning.
I think it's the first match, but the 3rd result.
Yeah, it's too much information for my brain. Well, but Rayvis finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 17 seconds.
And we're joined by Rayvis here in the voice chat. How you doing, Rayvis? GG.
GG's.
So, Uncle Start, best start, right?
Alright. I checked library with the thought, alright. As long as there's no Moon Pearl and Race Game, I'm gonna immediately check Uncle. Well, there's your Moon Pearl. Then I find flippers on Catfish, and I was like, alright. This is Catfish again, like last time. And required item, there's no way that Uncle has an item again. No way. And I always thought that's just the lamp somewhere in Hyrule Castle, and then I almost ran out of checks, and I was like, okay, I think now it's even more likely that the mirror is actually in Hyrule Castle, so let's do a Desperation Spike Cave, and then go Hyrule Castle, I guess. And then I thought if I have a chance, then it's with the flipper locations, I guess. I hope that might be a thing, although I thought, well, Teto did check it last time as well, so might not be that big of an advantage. I full clipped these down, nothing behind the powder. It was so bad. And then, yeah, it worked out with the Somaria in the end.
Yeah, for sure. So with the flippers, Teto actually went to Catfish earlier than you did. He put off Back of Escape for a little bit and actually never went to Ice Rock Cave. So, like, he didn't even have the choice of going into Pod, really. So it was a very clear walk up to Catfish for him where he gets the flippers.
Yeah, makes sense.
We were a little worried about you not going to Catfish because you did have the bow in that situation. So Pod looked pretty juicy. But I imagine, like, the Turtle Room gave you a little bit of pause. plus
not
the
bad.
catfish location.
So
in
what
other
actually
seeds.
what actually brought me to catfish was, all right, I check hype cave, and yes, I wanted to go to pod, but I found the flute on Death Mountain, so fluting to 5 is actually better. So I might just do pyramid and catfish now and just save and quit and go to 5. If I don't have the flute, I'm obviously going pod first.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, finding the hookshot made me think, all right, I have Death Mountain completely. Okay, not Dark Death Mountain. I have Pod and Eastern. I have Thieves Down stuff, and I have, or like the Village of Outcasts and Hyrule Castle. Those are the big item locations. Where do I start? I chose basically every wrong one first. It's ridiculous. Like, if I go Hyrule Castle first, I think I get the mids, and you know, it's easier to just, you know, I mean, it could be mids go mode. I don't know if there was anything locked by the mids. I don't know where Quake was quite, but I think it was early.
Quake was front of tier with the mids. Or
Oh
not
yeah,
tier,
yeah, I was. Oh my god,
Eastern.
that would have. Holy smoke! So I might have full
Yeah,
cleared
it would have
Swamp
been
in general.
mids go mode.
Wow.
You full clear swamp and go mode everything else.
Oh my god. See, it was a 50-50 decision for me. I didn't really want to go to a Pendant Thieves Down because if I full clear it, it's wrong. If I'm not full clearing, it's also wrong. So let's just, I don't know, maybe go Hyrule Castle. Okay, Village of Outcasts has a little more stuff to offer. Also, I thought I shouldn't skip Skyward's Front this time, just in case that the Fire Rod or any Somaria shenanigans are going on there. Well, I don't know. After finding the mirror, I thought, all right, that's just another tie. You know.
The weird thing is, you both did it. Both of you put off the uncle in front of escape the entire scene, and ended up going to check the uncle like within 30 seconds of each other near the end.
Yeah, but it made sense, right? Well, you can argue if it made sense, but for us, we just got Darkwood. Didn't even any Molon Cave. We could have sequence broken Death Mountain. We could have done everything. Why should we go to a Hyrule Castle, which is, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Like,
sometimes it's good.
there's more than one way to play the game, to route the game, right? Like, if there isn't like one definitive right answer until you know where the item locations are. But like, my thought process would have been, after doing Pyramid Catfish, I'm never going front of escape, because like the only good time to go front of escape is to mirror there from Pyramid, and it's 5 items that I'm never going to. Nah, I'll just go do that right now.
But front of escape is like 15 seconds or 20 seconds from Link's house, which is basically a starting point. So I don't know about that, but it's my personal view about that. But we had so many crystal dungeons, but
Yeah,
every crystal dungeon was
never
empty.
went there. That's the thing. You did Spike Cave instead of going there.
That was desperate Spike Cave. That was just, I'm behind for like 10 minutes. I can't go Hyrule Castle now. It's over. It's basically over if it's there, because Tito's gonna go there for sure. Even having the Moon Pearl there, like, I didn't go Pod Eastern early because I wanted to have a mirror. That's what I was looking for all the time.
Yeah, I think the lamp thing really threw you guys too, because like you want to skip where the lamp is, right? And the lamp was most likely front of escape.
Exactly, and then when the item locations were even less, then you start thinking, all right, even if I would get the lamp, that's basically not opening anything for me currently. So it brings stuff and logic, yes, but everything I checked behind the lamp stuff, for like mids checks and the flute, I don't know, whatever, nothing came up. So, well, I thought, okay, I guess I have to go Hyrule Castle. I was laughing, to be honest.
I just think it's so funny that you both did it.
Yeah.
I think the main difference that Rayvis was also that Teto went for Meyer instead of Castle before. So Teto full clear Meyer, the way getting all the items, all that stuff. So Teto lost a lot of time because of that.
Okay, see, well, it was a Godmire. So thank God that was one of the 100 seeds I get a Godmire, I can actually use it, finally. Guess I have to save that seed for later. Good times.
The Wall of Fame of Rayvis' favorite seeds.
Also, this is my first win in the league. Can you imagine?
What? Really?
Well, I won in the co-op all dungeon seeds, but I lost every single one-on-one match until now. That's why we were 8 and 6, because I lost 4 matches, and one was against Teto actually in cross kicks.
The revenge.
Got randoed all over the place. Although Tito's better than me and Krosky's 100%. I can't deny that.
Well, I mean, Rayvis, a good way to get your first victory in the playoffs, right? Like that's when it starts counting the most, right?
Well, I would like to say yes, but damn, it was close to get third place in the group. I can't say it's okay to win now and not to win in the group stage. Like we almost dropped because of me. So I don't know.
And with that, Teto takes down Ganon with a very nice Master Sword Surplus fight. Totally worth not going to Ice Rod Cave so we can see that. And he finishes second here on our race. So get a GG in the chat for Teto. You guys put up a very hard fought fight.
GG Teto. Oh yeah, that Ice Rod Cave actually. I thought about it and was like, dude, this is an Ice Rod Cave Teto might skip. This could be big.
Hey Teto.
Hey.
GG's, Teto.
Yeah, GG Rayvis. We've done it. Not a tie
Why
at
did
least.
you not start Uncle this time?
Yeah, Rayvis and I, we talked about the last seed in the last days a few times, and we both said maybe we change some early gameplay and looting, and I just decided to, well, this time I'm gonna last locate it somehow, and so let's do it. Yep, it backfired hard.
Well, maybe I should tell you that's the same for me. Because I wanted to go to Uncle after race game, but you know, Moonpile.
Yeah, mind games. Only mind games here.
So, Teto, when you found your mirror, how did you feel?
Could you repeat that, please? I didn't get it.
When you found the mirror at the uncle,
Yeah.
how did you feel?
I honestly, I'm playing the good old open starting route I learned years ago. No, admit that much. I normally start with Uncle, and this time it's nearly the first time in an open seat I ever skipped that. And so I was like, yeah, of course. Once in a lifetime, you don't start with Uncle, and of course there's the mirror. And yeah, this will be a tough one.
Did you not think, alright, that I last locate this as well?
It just skipped so many things somehow. I'm not sure. I just stumbled through the whole seat, leaving things here and there, and it doesn't feel right. Whatever I played there, and in the end, I was going left side swamp, and oops, there's a big chest. Why did I skip that?
Oh wow, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, at least I wasn't full left side. I just flooded everything and got the key, and yeah, that was the first 30 seconds or so. And in GT, I just did the tile room with, I need a small key. Well, it's just full clear. I don't need a small key. There's one later under the no. Yeah, I'm just out for work. And I didn't even check the chests near the big key in Ganon's tower. And I was like, what am I doing here? I don't know how to play this game.
If it makes you feel a little better, Rayvis had the edge. Even if you made the better route through GT, Rayvis was still a little bit ahead, and he didn't make enough mistakes to really make that difference.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm glad.
I don't feel like he threw the race or anything.
I heard you laugh, Koi, when I was watching the last couple of minutes when I drank my goo. I drank my red goo right before I thought, 3 hearts. You remember you threw the last time, so I drank a goo.
Where did you drink the potion? I can't remember.
When I entered phase 3.
Alright, yeah.
And the bats are hitting me all over the place afterwards, so I'm back to 4 hearts again. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, with the times, I mean, yeah, losing with 8 minutes or so, it's okay. It's not the last things I missed somehow, or any play styles after the swamp play. So this might be 3 minutes or so. I'm really done on my own bed, but in the end, Rayvis would still win this race, and so it's not that bad. I mean,
The time difference doesn't show how close the race again was. It
Oh,
wasn't
no,
that
it was-
close like last time,
It was.
but it was surely like 2 minutes or something. Like if you check Ice Rod Cave and don't go full left. Who does that, by the way?
He did the hope route. He checked the hope chest then.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
no
see.
small
But-
key. I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay, I see. So if you route that differently, that's even closer. That's actually what I meant. So
Yeah, it was like outside of those final decisions in the GT route, the main difference between you was the go mode mire, the god mode go mode mire for Rayvis versus the double dip full clear for Teto. But it was just really unfortunate that it played out that way, because I really liked the mire play from you, Teto, at that time. That seemed like a really good decision. Then it just happened to be God Mire. It's so rude.
After seeing the Godmire, I just prayed to be anything there, but of course not this time. Yeah.
to be
This
fair,
is
yeah,
random,
go
right?
ahead. No, just
No,
to be fair, the thief stun stuff with the powder at the cell was also a big bait in this case.
Oh,
So I don't know. I
never
think we
checked
both
that.
had big time losses. We could have both.
Yeah, that
won.
was
Basically, the first one who goes Uncle and Catfish wins the game.
yeah, that's for sure.
And in this case, there was a GT routing and an additional Silvers and Ice Rod Cave. That's the story of the seed, I think. Nothing like it's nothing. And
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty early Dark World. I just went the whole story to Catfish up there, and with those late South Shore checks, you don't wanna check everything there. Maybe going for the first. Let's skip Icewood Cave. Yeah, it's a gamble in the seed, and Rayvis is a strong player. I knew if there's anything early, and it just might be the lamp. So just go Maya and press your luck. And yeah, if this doesn't work. You have to get some luck with some misplays from the enemy. And Rayvis didn't.
Still, definitely a hard-fought match from both of you. Rayvis does take the victory today, but I think that's not the end, right? Between your series, it's a best of 5, right?
yeah,
That's-
Kettlebet won yesterday, so there will be a game 4. We never really scheduled it right now. I think I'm not gonna play this at all. I
Yeah,
mean,
I heard
I got
already.
2 seeds this week with the tie and this repeat match. So I think it's might be the best choice to let our only 1-hour Kettlebet play game number 4.
it sounds a little bit weird, but I'm gonna go for the third time in the is a charm. So I'm probably gonna race game 4. So
You're gonna
no
race?
race between us anymore. This
Wait, Kettlebet.
There's not enough races for 2020 and 2021, to be honest. Like I played you 7 times now in
Should
tournament
I
race.
just announce that I gotta play game 4 now?
Why don't we actually commentate and track and play and restream everything ourselves? We're doing so many races, right?
I mean, I just hoped for game 5 with both of us, Rayvis, and now you let me down this hard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We'll definitely have to stay tuned for the follow-up to this match here. Really like to see how this plays out. Major Mistakes is not out of it. They do have another chance to tie it up before Hime takes it all. But thank you guys. I want to say thank you guys so much for doing this rematch for us. Really appreciate it. You both did a fantastic job. Definitely worth a follow from anybody in the Twitch chat. Use the !R command to follow Teto and Rayvis's Twitch streams. They're both fantastic runners. And also a big thank you to our tracker today. Is it an I or an L? I know I've asked.
It's iBot.
iBot02. Thank you so much for the track. I really appreciate it. And Nilsson, you're awesome, and I love you.
Thank you, Cole. I love you too. Thank you so much for doing comps with me. I think this was like our first time or second time we did comps ever.
It's
So
like our
I'm really
fifth
happy.
time, I swear.
Okay, I don't know. I don't keep count or track or anything. That's why we got the iBots tracking all that stuff, so we look smart. But thank you so much, Koi. And as mentioned, check out the Rayvis and Teto, amazing players. And shout out to the tracker. And for me, that's it. Have a good rest of your
Yeah.
day, I guess.
Now, guys, don't go anywhere, though, because there is another race starting right here on this channel immediately after we close the scene on this one. It is another league race between Edium and Jay Meisher. And I think I'm commentating that one as well. Although I think Nilsson will be leaving.
Oh, I'm leaving. You can keep the fun for yourself, Goy.
So don't go anywhere, guys. Stay right here, and we will be right back with more Link to the Past Randomizer League races. We'll see ya.